Hey guys, it's been a little while from me, so Happy New Year, I guess. It's January 2022 and I had a nice break over Christmas and I'm ready to get back into it now. Get some cool videos rolling for this whole year, really. I want to start by diving into some more kind of left field techniques. There's so much available for you guys out there, for me, for everyone on YouTube, in terms of, great practice regimes, scales, techniques, tapping, bending, pull-offs, whatever, all of that stuff, you know that. So I guess this video today is going to be designed for people who kind of can hold themselves on a guitar, they know what's going on, they can jam, they can record, they write, whatever, those kind of types of things. But the technique I want to give you today is something that's just going to help turn heads, or it's going to help pierce through on a recording. It's going to help you feel more creative. Many of you probably heard of these before, false harmonics, but it's knowing how to harness them and use them. So what we'll learn today is what is a false harmonic, how we can use them and how we can practice them. I won't take up a bunch of your time today, but I think it's worth talking about basically. I use these quite a lot, but also not too much because you don't want to become that guy. Alright, so a natural harmonic on a guitar, I'm sure most of you know, it's going to fall mainly around fret 12. We like to use 7 and 5. You can grab them on 3, 4, 9, etc. You get a kind of scratchy, cool, piercing sound when mixed with some pedals. It can sound really cool. But most of the time, we're going to be using them a little bit like that, or you can manipulate them with a whammy bar, or just bend them around a little bit like this. The reason I like false harmonics though is that I can be a little more intricate with the notes. I've got way more choice because I can play any note on the board and I can create a harmonic 12 frets away from the note that I'm fretting. So we're basically just playing a mirroring game. And when I play the notes like this, it means I can manipulate them further. I can really bend them and get expressive with them. And because of that, when paired, especially with like pentatonic scales, you can create a really oriental, Eastern, beautiful sound like that. So it's just something a little bit different for your playing, and I think frequency-wise it really push through on solos or just cool lead parts or parts to double up with vocals on recordings. Alright, cool. Let's take a look at how they sound. So I'm going to be playing here around this B minor pentatonic. Nice and simple in the left hand there. You can create some speed with it as well. Again, it has that oriental sound there, but we're going to really push that today. Alright, so what I want to be doing with my right hand, and I'm going to show you this technique up close the way I do it, is mirroring, like I say, with left and right hand. So if I'm playing here on fret 7, I want to be playing up on fret 19, etc, etc. Now you see that I was tapping these out then, and that's one great technique to do it. I think if I was a bit more driven, I'd pick up those notes a bit more. I see bassists do that a lot. They can try and record. Sounds quite cool because you can be quite rhythmic with it, but I think that when you're tapping you just lose the dynamics that you want and the expression goes then as well. So I've got this new technique that I use, which I shall show you in a second, and it sounds a little more like this. Nice, those tiny little almost micro bends or semitone bends that I'm creating with the notes there. In the left hand it would just sound like this. Chuck the false harmonic in with that. I mean, I'm being fairly random with that there, but I think you get the point. It's got a really unique sound, hasn't it? It really pushes through. So again, I'm just playing around a B minor pentatonic there, starting from fret 7, mirroring 12 frets up to create that, essentially a natural harmonic, but I'm doing it falsely, I guess, hence the name. Clever. And I'm not tapping it out because it loses dynamics, I'm doing this. I'm going to do a close-up here of this technique and how I achieve this. Okay, so with my right hand here, if I'm going to be playing over frets 19, 20 and 21, around this area here, I can actually play past the frets that I don't have. I can pick up a harmonic anywhere I want here, which is cool. So if I'm using the B minor here, I'm actually going to come just slightly off of the fretboard, aren't I? But I can use this note, no worries, you can hit it. So what I'm doing here is I fret my harmonic Got the kind of fleshy part of my first finger here on my right hand. If I go here on the D string, I'm just brushing over between the frets, between frets 19 and 20 here, nice and high, and I'm basically on the metal and I'm just pushing in, I glide into the note slightly like that as well. Now behind you've got options. I don't know why I've always preferred to do this. I use my third finger here to just pluck the note behind. You could obviously use the second finger there. I've also seen people use the side of their thumb and fret like that and then play with the first finger. I think you get the idea. I'm fretting with this finger here. It definitely takes some practice, by the way. And then I'm moving that, mirroring my notes there. And then I'm bending them around with my left hand. Alright? Okay, cool. So a short video, like I say, but we've learned basically, you know, how I can sound with them from my intro part there. Playing in B minor, I put in some Dorian notes there and some natural minor notes as well over just a kind of B minor drone. You can see how it works, it cuts through nicely. The difference between natural harmonics and false harmonics, how to play them, a couple of different techniques, the tapping and the fretting and hitting with either one of these fingers basically. It is a really tricky technique, so my point with this would be just practice with pentatonic scales. It doesn't matter what key you're in, but I think if you're accomplished with your left hand with pentatonic scales, that's easy, that's done. And then it's just basically mirroring that, doubling it up with the right hand, and slowly just approaching those false harmonics. I think what I like about it, and you probably noticed with mine today, is sometimes that natural, so this the normal note will just cut through a little bit as well. Doesn't really matter, it actually just adds that extra harmony and dynamic and octave to it as well, which is great. So practice, practice, practice. Just first of all creating the sound. You may find your own way to do this, but just understanding that all you're doing is mirroring 12 frets up. You could be ambitious as well and try it with 7 frets up, 5 frets up, and you get a real tight, high harmonic sound there as well. I prefer to mess around with these ones. I really hope that's made sense today. Leave me a comment below if it totally hasn't or if it totally has. Subscribe, listen out for some other bits and bobs as well. There's actually a snippet of false harmonics that I've used on a video about an Incubus album earlier on as well. So take a look, stay in touch, and thanks for your time. Take it easy.